Hello, my name is María Ángela Salinas. My teammates are Eugenia Ruiz and Maya Rojas. And in this project, we're going to talk about design thinking. So design thinking is a relatively new process. It seeks to find solutions to problems through the development of new ideas and innovation. Many companies have made incredible progress using the design thinking process, and they have come to conclusion that it affects its company performance.
The good thing about design thinking is that it allows the companies or the project to understand the client's perspective so that they can do a more precipitated perception of the product to achieve a goal for the client.
Design thinking was first officially used in 1978 by David Kelly, who is a professor in the University of Stanford. He's the creator of IDEO, which is a company that developed their own steps and methodology to design. And then this company was widely accepted and their ideas contributed to the term of design thinking.
Okay, so now let's talk about the design thinking process, especially in the UDEM's process. So in number one, we have the understanding phase, which is basically like conducting a research to develop an understanding of the user. And then we have the second stage, which is define. It's basically combining all that research and observing where the user's problem is. And then on stage 3, we have ideate, which basically is a brainstorm of ideas. This can be crazy, creative, and innovative. So in stage number 4 is the part of testing where we put the ideas into experimentation. And then we have number 5, which is prototype, which is basically building a real tactile representation for a range of the ideas. And then finally, we have refine, which is implementing this prototype and seeing if it works.
For this project, we had to analyze Headband's game, and I think we have all played it. We know that each player wears a headband and they choose randomly a card from the table. And in these cards, there are things, foods, and people, animals. So you have to guess which one you are wearing in your headband with a bunch of questions. So we analyzed this game and we thought that after a few rounds, it becomes repetitive, like it loses interest to the players. So we had some ideas that the material in the game can be reused with different games.
So our first game is Gestures. Gestures is a game in which players act the one card that they pick, and the rest of the players have to guess what they are imitating. This game is very dynamic, and we can play it with the original game, so it doesn't require any other materials.
Hangman is another option that we can play with the materials in the game box of headbands. For Hangman game, the players have to guess the word that one player is displaying in little dashes. And if they don't guess it before the hangman is hanged, well, the players lose. So the idea is that the player who is in charge of dressing the word, he or she can pick a card from the table and get inspired by it. So if I pick pasta, I can write the number of dashes for the word pasta, and then the other players have to guess it.
And for our last game is to create a story. With the game cards that are on the box, it's possible to play this other game as creating a story, which each player will use 12 different cards from the board, and the story will come up within a short period of time. They have a maximum of 1 minute, and they will be counted with the hourglass. And they need to continue telling parts of the story within the players and to create a funny story, and they can interact with one another and put their ideas onto a story that will be new for them.
So as mentioned before, all of these games can be played with the materials that the box of headbands already includes. For this project, we included these instructions for the game headbands since we didn't have to include any other materials for the game box.
And we explain step by step how each one of these games works and how to play it, what do you need, and it's only a matter of time so people can play it and it's applied for the game to be sold in the market.
And that was our project. We conclude that the design thinking process, it's a process that will help in every way to create a better final product for the user. So thank you for your attention.